Okay, in this video, I introduce you to logistic regression. Uh, this will be one of three different videos on logistic regression. In this first one, we just talk about what it is and the steps that we go through to do logistic regression. The second one, I show you an example of a particular methodology that we will use for logistic regression. I'm going to apply it in a different situation, just a regular simple linear regression. And then the third video will actually show you a logistic regression example that you can also reproduce. So up to now, when we've talked about regression, the dependent variable or the y variable has always assumed to be continuous. It's something you measured, like a dollar amount or a time. But if you have a situation where your dependent variable is a yes or no, or a win or a loss, 0 or 1, left or right, when there's only two choices and you can't get anything in between, so it's clearly a binary, then regular regression is not appropriate. Regular regression will give you things where you can get a number bigger than 0 or 1 or in between, and it's just not appropriate. So when your dependent variable is clearly binary, then logistic regression is a better tool, is the tool you should use. So you can use it to predict the probability. And what the key is that rather than what it does, what logistic regression does, is give you a formula or an equation where you can use it to predict the probability of a specific event occurring. So, like regression, we want to find, using some methodology, what the regression coefficients are. It's the same thing, but what we're trying to do is maximize this calculated probability. Now, there's some terms that I'll be using later. One of them is called the logit, L-O-G-I-T, the logit, and all that is for a particular record or a particular data point, it's the regression equation. So if we've got a sample of size 20, then we need to calculate 20 regression equations or 20 logits. And after we calculate a logit for each one of these, we convert that to an odds, and we'll talk about odds later. And how you calculate an odds is you take your logit and you take e and raise it to the power of whatever this logit equation is, where e is the natural logarithm. After we calculate or convert our logit to odds, then we ultimately convert our odds to a probability. Now, how you calculate an odds, it's equal to the probability divided by 1 minus the probability. And to calculate odds, the probability, it's the odds over 1 plus the odds. I'll do an example in another video to show you what that is. And then the last thing that we do is once we can calculate these probabilities, then all we're trying to do is determine what these coefficients of our logit are, the coefficients of our regression equation, to maximize the likelihood that we correctly predict an event from the original data set. And I will build another video that shows you what optimization means. And then the third video will be the true example of logistic regression. Thanks.